How do you do? The Box Office Pulp Board feels it would be a little unkind to present this podcast without just a word of friendly warning. We're about to unfold a cinematic commentary track, made by a group of men who sought to create a podcast after their own ravings, without reckoning upon God. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. It deals with three great mysteries of the internet: analysis, observation, and deconstruction. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel you'd not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now's your chance to... well, we've warned you. Now, to pause and refresh. For your convenience, we have an attractive refreshment stand in the lobby, with buttered popcorn, golden good and hot from the popper, your favorite candies, wholesome and rich, plus delicious Dr. Pepper, so bright and bracing with a tang and tingle unmatched by any other beverage. Enjoy an ice-cold Dr. Pepper at our beverage stand right now, and then return to fully appreciate this bop and a movie commentary track. Enjoy.
Hey, Riggs.
What?
Did you leave a pumpkin out here?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Box Office Pulp, your one-stop podcast for movies, madness, and moxie. I'm your host, Cody. Joining me tonight are my co-hosts, Mike. Say hello, Mike.
I am wearing a bikini made of pumpkin gut.
You had me until you got to gut. If it was just pumpkin, sure, but the
just
guts
stringy
themselves,
pumpkin guts just barely covering my shaft.
I hate it. Anyways, say hello to my other co-host, Jamie. Say hello, Jamie.
So right now, the setup I've got going on this desk next to my microphone is I've got a cup of tea, a full glass of Coke in my Dracula tiki mug, a bottle of water, a small pumpkin, and 2 artificial eyes, and a bottle of crazy glue, with a spoon for carving. I am ready for big-ass motherfucking pumpkin day.
Also, not mentioned by Jamie, but of note, a severed head with 2 missing eyeballs.
They had it.
Don't forget to help me with the eyes.
Folks, as is tradition, Box Office Pulp is contractually obligated by Satan to do an episode on Big Ass Pumpkin Day.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. For any of you coming late
Hail
into
Satan,
this...
Jamie.
I
got
was
you there, yeah, what the
taking
fuck?
a gulp of sweet tea.
Are you an
Hail
angel girl?
Satan.
What are you? Okay.
This would be me fucking like with Rosemary's Baby in the corner, like we're all saying Hail Satan. There's like one guy, Ted, fucking say Hail Satan. Join in. I don't care how goddamn shy you are because you've never met any of these people before.
Take it easy, Mike. Jeez, come on. The Lord gets it. Satan gets it.
You
fan.
always get on him, Phil.
There's just 10 minutes of Roman Polanski just trying to egg this guy on to give that performance. Right. What were you saying? Oh, yeah. Big Ass Pumpkin Day. Folks, Big Ass Pumpkin Day is a holiday that my friends and I created in college to basically have 11sies on Halloween. One Halloween is good, but it's October. You got 31 days. You should sneak in 2. And Big Ass Pumpkin Day is here so we can drink, we can carve our pumpkins, just have a good old time. And unfortunately for Box Office Pulp, that means we pick a pumpkin-themed movie at random and watch that, which can dip into the good timeness of the good time. None of us know a single thing about the movie we're going to be watching tonight.
I found it 2 days ago.
It's true. If you want to watch it with us, the movie is called Pumpkinhole. That's Pumpkinhole, one word.
Spelled exactly like you think it is.
You got it.
Pumpkinhole.
It's on Amazon Prime. You have to rent it. Right now it is $3.99 for the HD copy, but it is available. It runs 1 hour, 23 minutes long, and 25 seconds. I have no idea what this movie is about. We watched a trailer. It looks like there's a man who is imagining kind of being haunted by a jack-o'-lantern. I don't know if this is actually a horror film or like a psychological thing or Mike mentioned the possibility it could be a sports film. So we
It's
are
also
going
apparently
blind.
Christian, too. I feel like that's important to
quite.
stress.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe, I don't know, a spiritual kept being bandied about a lot. Also, I just have a better idea than renting it on Amazon. If you have a library card, if you don't have a library card, folks, head on down to your local library. Get yourself a free library card. Get on Hoopla, and then just borrow Pumpkinhole for no cost. Like I am.
I would like to say, in my defense, I have a library card, but Hoopla would not accept it to rent me materials. So I like reading, folks. I swear to God. Please don't judge me.
That's because Wisconsin doesn't exist.
No, we exist. It's just occasionally awful.
No, it's like the lost city of Z.
But instead of a bunch of, like, Aboriginal people running around killing intruders, it's just guys, like, hoarding all the cheese in the nation.
The lost city of cheese.
So many curds.
Cheese, Gromit. All right. One last thing. If you want to drink along with the Box Office Pulp crew as we watch this movie, I have a cocktail ready for you. It's the Spooky Delight. You're going to want to get an ounce and a half of a mezcal. You're going to want 3/4 of an ounce pumpkin syrup. Now, you can buy pumpkin syrups like you would put into coffee or whatever else. You can make your own pumpkin pie syrups too, just like a simple syrup. There's dozens of recipes online, so you can kind of tailor it to your preferences. The main part of it, though, is you're going to need either brown or white sugar, water to boil all of this, some pumpkin pie spice, or you can do the individual pieces that make a pumpkin pie spice, like your cinnamon and allspice, all that kind of stuff. And pumpkin pie puree. So you end up mixing that into an abomination in your little burner on your stove. Boil that up, let it steep for a while, and then you're probably going to want to filter it because you kind of get a mess otherwise. But it's kind of interesting because you end up with a simple syrup that tastes just like eating a pumpkin pie. I don't know how many drinks you can really use that for, but it's kind of neat. People like novelty, so you can make your own pumpkin spice for this guy. You're also going to need a 1/2 ounce of amaretto and a 1/4 of an ounce of allspice dram. Just going to shake all that together with ice, drop it into like an old-fashioned glass with one old big ice cube. If you want to sweeten this up a little bit, because it does taste a lot like pumpkin meeting a mezcal, you can throw in like just a dash of lemon juice, and that'll sweeten it up and brighten it a little bit. I think it pairs well with the mezcal in this case. Your call, though. I'm drinking mine straight with no fruit juice. You do you, Internet.
Thanks for the permission, Cody.
And if you do what I do because I'm doing it instead of you doing you, I will find you and I will force you to do you.
You like that scene in Wishmaster 2 where the dude fucked himself?
Exactly is what's going to happen.
Now, folks, as always, what I want you to do is make Cody's drink, gulp it down as quickly as you can, grab your knife, grab a big spoon, get in your car.
Oh, no.
And start carving.
I'm assuming we're going to be driving while carving, correct? This isn't just like carve it in your car, because that seems oddly restrictive.
Actually, it would probably even sitting still would up your chances of accidentally stabbing yourself just because of the lack of room.
Have they ever done this in Jackass? Like someone is in the back of a pickup truck going over speed bumps and frantically trying to carve a pumpkin?
Can we do this as like a online experiment? Can we do like extreme pumpkin carving?
The loser ends up getting stuffed into one of those pumpkin chunking cannons and shot across the field.
Yes. I think it'd be
God.
great.
I'm just imagining, I'm Cody Cheesehead, and this is Pumpkinhole. Wow, no.
Next big ass pumpkin day. That's what we're doing.
I mean, I just want to call it that now. Can we just, that's the intro, like cold open is Jamie shouting that? All right, it's been like 10 minutes. I feel like we're dragging our feet because we don't want to watch Pumpkinhole. Folks, if you want to watch along with us,
we have things to do.
Places to be, holes to pumpkin. Mike, do you want to do us the honor of counting down the start of Pumpkinhole?
If I absolutely have to.
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Go, go, Pumpkin Ranger.
I said real quick, I didn't want to say this to delay our intro, but Hoopla is fucking amazing. It's almost exclusively where I get my audiobooks and digital comics from. They have anything you could possibly think of.
It's fantastic.
You guys are
Fantastic.
just rubbing it in.
Don't worry, I'm a good citizen, Cody.
Get an online library card like a normal human being, and then just use Hoopla for all the things.
I hate the internet sometimes.
It's invaluable for research for this fucking show. Let me tell you that much.
I could just go to a real library in Madison.
That was a Nick
Well, why don't you
Cave
do
song
that?
about the
Why aren't you there right now watching Pumpkinhole?
Oh, that'd be a little weird. I don't know if they have podcast rooms. All right, so before we get too far in, how many dead bodies do you think Pumpkinhole will have? I want to place bets. 6 for Mike. Jamie, what are you going with?
I'm expecting a more intimate encounter, something a la early Clive Barker. I'm going to go with 2.
2? Okay, shit. I was going to really lowball, and I feel like I'm getting boxed in here by Jamie. I don't think this is going to end up being a horror film this slice. I'm going to go with 1 body.
It's going to end in a suicide. That's it.
Just 1, like, he ends the film that way, and he goes to Pumpkin Hell, and they're like, that's what you get.
I love this title.
It's a very nice
Jesus
book.
Christ. That was...
Balding! Oh, we've got swearing at least. So how spiritual can this be if they allow men to say the word fuck? Non-spiritual is what I think.
I hope the entire film is on the back of this dude's head.
Just a little bit of male pattern baldness.
Whatever, we're watching fucking Let the Right One In right now.
Okay, this is the sports talk Mike was talking about, because we're getting fond recollections of the time this character played for the Cyclones.
The Cyclones, yes, which I think was a Major League Baseball team in The Simpsons or something. I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I think you're thinking of the Isotopes. I'm using the internet to look this up. The Brooklyn Cyclones were a real baseball team. They might still be. Minor League Baseball.
When?
Of the South Atlantic League and the High A affiliate of the New York Mets.
Wow. Well, you know how New York is like really known for its cyclones.
It's their logo looks like it's on a boardwalk. You know, like the structure of a roller coaster is underneath the word cyclones. So maybe it's in reference to a roller coaster.
So the cyclone at Coney Island.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking it is.
I think
Stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry, I'm angry at this movie already.
I think they should take advantage of the opportunity to start referring to themselves as the Clones.
Send in the clones.
Also, if you hear any delicate ASMR noises in the background, I'm going to be carving this pumpkin throughout the commentary. So,
Jamie, are you going with a spooky face, a scary face, a funny face?
I'm going for something that would look goofy up close but terrifying from a distance. So I really want to my end goal is intimidating passersby.
Are you gonna like Merv Pumpkinhead this kind of thing where he's like on top of a big scarecrow body?
The current plan is to just go with the head, but who knows what the rest of October will bring.
All right.
At this point, I pretty much just have my Halloween shit out 24/7, like that one family in the trailer park that won't take their Christmas lights down. So I got to do it big for the actual month of October.
Yeah.
I'm very annoyed. I like the shot selection of this movie so far.
I don't know if we needed the first one in the back of the guy's head for so long, but this is a nice little
That one was a little long, but I like the push in. I like this.
I was not expecting Pumpkinhole to be arty.
For folks who didn't bother paying $4 or downloading Hoopla, we're watching this man at work without a shirt on through shelving. So he just framed kind of nicely. Now it's switched to another scene where like a door is closing and he's, behind the counter. His face is framed perfectly between like all the store closed kind of ads.
Just once again, very nice framing.
They lined him up nice.
Oh, is the
The
movie
store
gonna
full in.
secretly be? Is the movie gonna secretly be good 3 years in a row?
Well, I don't want to jump to any conclusions here.
We can always
Also
turn
for-
this off and switch to Hack-O-Lantern.
We could. It's an option.
Oh.
Ah,
And I was just kind of staring at a lady inside the store. I've got my volume way down, but I like to imagine some creepy psycho
he looks like
music.
Andrew Robinson there.
We now sell kerosene. I'm sure that's an important part for businesses somewhere, but I never thought to myself driving around like, fuck, where am I going to get my kerosene now?
God, I don't know about you guys, but I suddenly have a craving for kerosene.
Forget
That really
putting your
should have been
money
the
in
drink.
gold. Forget putting your money in gold. Forget putting your money in crypto. Kerosene is where it's going to be at whenever the climate starts to change soon.
I mean, I went home for my sister's birthday over the weekend, and my dad was basically telling me I need to start stocking up on supplies because there's about to be a nuclear war with Russia. And I was kind of on the position of, well, one, I would rather just die. Like, it'd be a lot easier just to die in the nuclear strike. I don't want to be one of those people surviving for like 10 years afterwards in the Mad Max-averse of Wisconsin.
We've seen threads. This isn't going to be good for anybody. I don't want to deliver a mutant baby.
Right? Like, I'm past it. Just fucking blow me up, if that's the case. Don't make me live in, like, the radiated wastelands. Two, what does he think I'm going to stock up for supplies in my little apartment in Madison that's going to, like, keep me alive when people are killing their neighbors for survival material?
It's all the lead line paint that will keep you perfectly safe. I just say...
You're gonna... I like the idea of you just surviving on beanie weenies and those like little cans of boiled peanuts and shit. Oh, those Vienna sausages are worth their weight in gold in the afterscape.
Well, I did make a giant amount of chili shortly before the nuclear annihilation, so I can live off of this for a good pumpkin day before my refrigerator runs out of juice because I don't have a generator in my house.
I didn't know how to stock up properly, so all I got were pickles, just millions upon millions of jars of pickles.
How many calories are in a pickle? How many would you need to eat to survive a day?
You need to eat about 1,000 jars full of pickles probably to get any amount of energy out of it.
One dill pickle spear may have around 4 calories. But with about 300 milligrams of sodium per spear, you're well on your way to 25% of your daily volume of sodium with 2 of them. So,
and it would take more than that, more energy than that many calories to digest the pickles, so you'd actually be slowly killing yourself by eating pickles.
Yeah, but I don't have, like, rabbit around here, so, pickles, they keep. I like them more than celery. This is going to be how I end up getting back in shape. I'm just going to fucking eat nothing but pickles for 3 weeks and then die.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to be like the new diet hawked by like Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson.
It's Keto 2.0. You end up internally pickling yourself so you can survive anything. So last year, as a treat for myself, I made blood pickles, which is where you get pickle spears, and you mix the pickle juice with a bunch of Kool-Aid and sugar, cherry Kool-Aid specifically, and you leave this in a jar for like a week, so the Kool-Aid has time to be absorbed into the pickle spears, and you end up with a pickle that is entirely red and very sweet and kind of fruity tasting on top of the pickle sour taste. So if anyone's looking for some neat Halloween treats, that's an easy one to do. I personally recommend the Famous Dave's spicy pickles if you can find those guys. Get a little bit of heat to go with your sweet.
Also, stick your pickle in the pumpkin hole. On Hoopla.
That goes without saying.
I'm enjoying all these words.
That is 90% of the reason that we chose this movie, which is the opportunity to say pumpkin hole and related words for an entire commentary.
I'm getting wrapped up in this riveting drama about this man swapping propane tanks for this woman.
Also, while we're watching this, my brother just texted me. Uh, so he's watching Iron Man 2 with my nephew,
Mhm.
and he pointed to Whiplash and said, like, "Who's that?" And my nephew said, "Whiplash." So he said, "What's his real name?" Ivan Vanko. And this is the most incredible thing in the world to me right now.
What a world we live in.
Mike is neglecting to mention that the other people in the story are both 50 years old.
Aw. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm impressed when I remember the name Ivan Vanko.
I think like if someone put me on the spot, I would not remember it. But if you gave me time to like sit and reflect on my life, I'd be like, okay, wait, when was the last time I saw Iron Man 2? What was Mickey Rourke doing? Did he say his name in a funny way? I bet he did.
Oh, totally. I remember that solely because of Mickey Rourke going, "Oh, Van Vonkel." He went to my booth.
I mostly remember the bird talk. I want my bird.
God, I thought he was shoeless for a second.
Oh no, he's dead.
Ah,
Pumpkin.
yep, that's a pumpkin. That is a phantom pumpkin.
So the pumpkin was shaking just very, very visibly. Do you think that was because like the camera just wasn't secured properly, or is that supposed to be an effect to make you think like, ooh, the pumpkin's got energy to it? What do you think was the artistic intent there? Low budget filmmaking or vibrating pumpkin?
Cody, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they put a pumpkin on the floor and panned a camera over to it.
Yep.
Oh god, what if this movie is like The Machinist, but
I was
with a
just
pumpkin
thinking
haunting a dude?
I was just thinking that.
Admit to what you did!
Is this The Machinist but with pumpkins? Because I never knew I needed something in my life.
Well, this guy's in the Christian Bale "I am a walking skeleton" routine, so that's a little different.
I feel like we could convince Christian Bale to do a movie called Pumpkinhole.
Convince him it's an avant-garde piece because it's going to be remaking a movie that came out like this year.
Werner Herzog's Pumpkinhole.
Doc, you got to help me. The pumpkins are after me. I'm gonna feel bad making fun of this movie when it's really just about a guy who's trying to overcome like alcoholism and adjusting his medication. Look at these jerks. They don't care about mental health. They're making fun of the Pumpkinhole man.
The inspiring true story.
Ah, there's a lady at your window. We should add a pumpkin count. This is, I believe, our third pumpkin sighting. This one's like a store-bought jack-o'-lantern, not the scary pumpkin that's haunting this man's psyche.
I'd like to be haunted by phantom pumpkins.
Wasn't that like one of the main villains in the real Ghostbusters, like the Sam Hine guy?
Oh yeah. That ripped motherfucker.
Yeah, can we just watch the real Ghostbusters? All of
That'd
it?
be fun. Yeah, I'd
love
be
to do
down.
that. We should do
And then
that.
follow it up immediately with the Extreme Ghostbusters.
Oh man, fucking love the Extreme Ghostbusters. I rewatched that a year ago when it was on Hulu, and I was shocked to see some of the stuff they were doing in there. Like there's just a Hellraiser episode. They just have Cenobites as one of the
with
ghosts.
It's
live
insane what they
horror.
got away with.
I'm like, how
I
the
guess
hell did one, they not get sued, and two, how did Fox just go like, I don't fucking care, just go ahead. Pain demons, whatever, it's for kids, they'll like it.
And an episode that's basically like in the mouth of madness.
There was a brilliantly beautiful, brief period in the late 90s where the only thing separating like Saturday morning cartoons and like HBO or MTV animation was whether or not anybody said fuck.
It's really a shame Extreme Ghostbusters only got one season, and as far as I'm aware, it's not available on DVD or anything. So there's 40 episodes to enjoy, but you gotta hope that they're on streaming, because it seems like it kind of comes and goes.
It is usually streaming somewhere. Like it's almost always on Hulu. Is this some kind? Okay,
feeding a
I didn't
pumpkin.
know if we were just immediately going into like full on fucking in Pumpkinhole.
Apropos of the leg lamp essentially flicking on and off right now. I saw an interesting little Twitter thread today just talking about the lack of eroticism in modern movies and how we probably won't get eroticism because, one, movie makers are encouraged to speed up through the process instead of slowly, pumpkin sighting. That's four.
That is just a
Ah!
spinning pumpkin. Wow, he is just what the. This is the machinist.
We just saw a spinning pumpkin and like a montage of this man in bed breathing heavily, a woman, him in a tunnel. There was some shit going on, and now he's taking a drug test.
Horizontal spinning pumpkin.jpg.
But anyways, the idea is eroticism in movie making requires time to build up your characters. One, there needs to be a vulnerableness there for a character to actually experience something like eroticism instead of just like they kiss, which one modern pacing wouldn't necessarily want to take the time to set up foreplay, essentially. Which I kind of agree with. I think a lot of movies are either way too long, but they spend that extra time on very big set pieces, or they're cut to the bone and you cut out all the character moments just because they're like, fuck it, people just want to see the explosion parts. Let's just keep moving.
Two things. One, we talked about almost this exact same thing the last Big Ass Pumpkin Day. Except it was about movies not having the specificity of sex scenes that they used to. But
And I still agree with whatever point I said last time, apparently.
women need to get up to pee after fucking more often. That was an entire conversation we had.
I feel very passionate about this fact.
But I think you are correct short term, like in the next few years. Like I'm not expecting movies to get horny on Maine anytime soon. But I think there's a very big clapback to that coming just whenever the big generation shift happens over the next 10 years. Movies are going to swing way back into being horny whenever they're targeted primarily to Gen Z, who is far less inhibited by that sort of thing.
I think we've discussed this as well. Everyone watching this is like, it's a fucking repeat. Just because there's a surprising number of folks within Gen Z that are surprisingly prudish. Like, I can't tell you the number of younger folks who have mentioned, like, hey, a sex scene doesn't move plot forward. It's not necessary to the movie. It's just wasting time. I don't need to see tits and ass. Which is strange because, like, obviously you can have plot development within a sex scene. It's just like you can have plot development with an action scene. It's not superfluous every time. But a surprising number of younger folks, raise my fist to the sky, just aren't interested in sex in a film at all.
They'll grow out of it.
Once you show them fucking a few pumpkin holes, they'll be like, I've changed my mind.
I miss the erotic thriller. Bring back the erotic thriller.
Oh, yeah.
I think we can all, agree on that. The baseball people are trying to pressure our hero into having a beer, which means they're all real big assholes.
We're watching this during Mental Health Awareness Month.
And I started off with making a cocktail, which I'm now going to foist upon our hero.
Here's the
Just
thing.
a little sip. Just have a sip. Come
Look,
on.
I don't know if this movie's any good. But I will say, no matter what, we've seen the spinning pumpkin. Like, you kind of lose the plot a little bit when you're making a movie and you start throwing that in there. I love how this is shot like it's The Wrestler or something.
I mean, we do have the tracking shot of this man just walking through this machine shop, the camera, being walked right behind him. It does have that kind of feel. There's a lot of shots in this movie that are just the back of this man's head.
Also, speaking of pumpkins, I'm going to send you guys a photo of where I'm at so far. We now initiate phase 3.
The pumpkining. All right. While we're waiting for Jamie to post that so we can ooh and awe it, how many calories do you think are in a pumpkin?
Like a whole pumpkin?
Like you're just eating a whole pumpkin.
Oh, a whole ass pumpkin, like stem and all. You're a fairy tale
if
monster.
you can eat it on the pumpkin, yes.
890.
Okay. The internet is less than useful because it just breaks it down by cups. Like you're a normal person who eats the pumpkin by cupping it up and making like servings of it. But one cup of pumpkin is 30
it's
calories.
Not like there's a like standard pumpkin size.
How many cups in an average pumpkin? 1 pound pumpkin equals many cups. Thank you, Google.
Cool.
I love how often we
know
crave
that.
scientific facts about pumpkin. Ah! Kill it!
Oh no, what did I miss?
There's not even a hole in the pumpkin. That's what's bothering
Pumpkin sighting. Well, he's gonna put the hole in there. It's like American Pie. He's working his way towards that.
I bet.
Now we have Lost Highway. I just really love that fucking Google just said, I don't know, don't ask me. 1 pound pumpkin equals many cups. Fucking get out of here.
Don't you have something to do? Also, that should be in the group chat now.
Ooh. Ooh. How big are these eyes going to be, Jamie?
That's as big as they're going to get.
Okay, I was going to say, because these have to be some gigantic peepers you're putting in this pumpkin.
I say go bigger.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's actually quite the opposite. They're very small.
I don't like the way you said that. I don't like the way you said that.
I'm going very mad god with this pumpkin this year.
Jamie has posted a pumpkin, which, let me describe to folks. It's a good round pumpkin, not one of those warty ones. She has carved a Jack Skellington type thin smile into the lips. Then she has just taken huge fucking chunks out where the eyes should be. Just hollowing through this pumpkin. Giant baseball plus sized holes for the eyeballs. Little tiny scratched in eyebrows over top. And I should mention, this is the most interesting part of the pumpkin to me, a gigantic gourd stem. It looks like this thing has a mohawk. This looks like the Yondu of pumpkins. It's got a fin. You could put this pumpkin in the water and become Jaws.
I spotted that bitch from across the produce section.
Da-da. As long as we're sharing our creative endeavors. Do you guys want to hear my Halloween cocktail menu for 2022?
Yeah.
Woo!
All right. First up, I've got 11 drinks on this thing that people can pick from when they come to my Halloween party. The first is Zombie Punch. This is a giant, like, gallon pitcher of zombies that I have made and clarified with milk. It's got Falernum, Jamaican rum, Overproof rum, Demerara rum, gold rum, absinthe, Angostura bitters, lime juice, grapefruit juice, grenadine, cinnamon syrup. I used 2 different rums that were like 151 proof in this thing, and like multiple cups of that. It's gonna murder someone. I'm concerned of what I have made. It's just in a giant pitcher with no warning sign on it, so people just like drink a gallon of it and then die because their livers will just strangle them.
You chose chaos.
Yeah.
I
please
created
put this
a cocktail without reckoning to God.
Please put this in a fridge in a house unmarked where children are, and let's see what happens.
Yum yum juice. Try it, kids. I should say the original Zombie, when it was created, the bartender had a strict 2 per customer limit because people get too fucked up otherwise drinking these things. So I just have these in a giant skull-shaped pitcher in my freezer. People can just pour whenever they want, and I foresee bad things happening. 2, chilled ectoplasm. So for this one, it's less of a drink and more of an alcohol dessert. You're going to puree some kiwis, mix it with white rum, lime juice, sugar. You're going to make that into kind of a mash. Then you're going to let it sit for kind of an hour or 2. Let that sugar fully dissolve. Then you're going to throw it in your freezer for like a day. And when you're ready to eat it, you just fluff it with a fork, and you get this weird frozen kiwi booze. So you can either let it melt totally and then drink it, or you can just eat it with a spoon as an ice cream almost. It's funky. I love it. Next, the Vampire Kiss. This is vodka, peach liqueur, cherry juice, and grenadine. The Purple People Eater for my Minnesota friends. We've got orange blossom vodka, blue curacao, grenadine, and cranberry juice. This one's fun because it is purple, I assume. The Ghostini, which is vanilla vodka, white chocolate liqueur, and walnut liqueur. So a simple cocktail, but it combines into a white cocktail. You top it off with some whipped cream. It's like you got a ghost in a martini glass. It's fun. The Spooky Delight, which I'm drinking right now, so I won't cover that again. We have Liquid Luck, which is brandy, hazelnut liqueur, rosemary syrup, and lemon juice all mixed together. The Dark Cosmos, which is Cointreau, black tea, lemon juice, pineapple juice, and bitters. The Witch's Fizz, which is pink gin, strawberry flavored gin, actual strawberries, blood orange soda, and Prosecco. So you get a kind of a pink, bubbly strawberry champagne mix. Apple cider mimosas, champagne, pomegranate liquor, and apple cider all mixed together. And lastly, Scooby Snack Shots, which I do 1-to-1-to-1 ratio of Midori, coconut rum, and pineapple juice. And I put them in like little sciencey beakers with cork stoppers so people can slurp them all down and feel like a mad scientist trying to do like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. And that is the 2022 Halloween cocktail menu for Cody's party. I had these actually printed out and laminated, so I feel very fancy. Also, I can pretend like there's thunder in my apartment right now.
I like how Cody talks about alcohol the way Scott the Woz talks about video games. Very charming.
It's very similar, yes.
And
I think the trick of a good Halloween party is if you get everyone drunk enough, they'll just assume they had an okay time.
Did he?
You can't get them too drunk because then they'll like start shit. But if you get them drunk enough where they kind of forget what they did that night, they'll be like, I assume the missing parts were fun parts.
Oh, I thought a pumpkin was like scanning him.
Checking his DNA for pumpkin-eyed.
Did he find a pumpkin meteorite in the woods?
We're slowly piecing together this man's tragic backstory. We keep getting to the tunnel. He's on meds. He had to give up alcohol. He's haunted by a pumpkin. Earlier they were talking about a child who died. I'm going to go with this man manslaughtered a child and is now guilt-ridden.
Very much so. I would like to speak to the director, who I know is listening.
Yes, Malik?
Look, it seems like to me you had a very interesting, meditative, dramatic indie film, and you decide to put phantom pumpkins in it. Now, I don't know what's happened, in your past or what artistic merit you were aiming for. But next time you make any decision, ask for outside help. Just run it by someone to go like, hey, here's this thing. Do you think maybe the pumpkin was a little much?
I'm on the other side. I think it needs to ramp up the pumpkinness. Like, there's a ton of dramas out there without spinning pumpkins. This one looks surprisingly well shot, well lit, and you've got weird pumpkins that occasionally cross dissolve into David Lynch night driving scenes. I want to see more. I came for the pumpkin hole. I'm staying for the human condition.
You're staying for the whole man.
The pumpkin hole man.
I just wish it would pick a side. Be contemplative or give us pumpkin nonsense. That's all I ever ask out of one of these movies.
We're 30 minutes in out of like a almost hour and a half movie. It's possible this is the slow pumpkin burn before Gord goes off the rail at the end here.
Gord, go off the rail.
I got excited because I thought there was a book that said something about The Shining or Stephen King, and I think it's just Steinbeck. I think I'm just saying Steinbeck copies, but hoping it's a bunch of copies of Carrie in this bookstore.
For the love of God, give us something to latch onto.
Do I count this on my Halloween watch list? Because I typically write down all the holiday-themed movies I've seen during September and October. But if I watch like Die Hard during Halloween, I don't write that down because it doesn't really count as holiday viewing. So far, would you say Pumpkinhole counts? Because when we're watching it for Big Ass Pumpkin Day, so it kind of
counts
automatically
because
gets
of the reason
in.
we're doing it. Unfortunately, you have to put it on the list.
Speaking of the watch list, I watched Mark of the Vampire for the first time today.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Confusing. It's like this is the most elaborate murder ruse I think I've seen in a movie in quite some time. But I was kind of bummed out and confused because there's a commentary with it, which is great. I love it when Warner Archive puts out movies with commentaries and special features because they don't really have to, right? They could just put a movie out on Blu-ray and be like, "Here you go, shut up."
Be glad we acknowledge this exists.
Right. But I was listening to the commentary and they're talking about Bela Lugosi and just they mentioned, "Oh, it's unfortunate he chose not to master English, which really hurt the number of roles he got throughout his life." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Why is this claim being made by like professional film historians?"
The hell? Okay.
Like we all know, right? That whole doesn't hold a lot of water. We've discussed this before. It's just like a weird claim to make, considering he starred in the fucking play of Dracula for what, like a couple years before doing Dracula the movie. They kind of bust that whole thing of, oh, he had to learn his lines phonetically because English was so complicated.
Have you
He
ever
was
seen
very fluent in English.
Have you ever seen the interview he gave, like, not like a year or two after Dracula, where he's like walking through the garden with a reporter, like, "Oh, I would very much like to do more romantic roles, like I did in the old days, and when I was a young man in my old country." He is very, very fluent in English.
You know, he lived in L.A.
I was very annoyed watching that commentary because most of the stuff they're touching on are just straight declarations of fact. Oh, this movie was made in this year. This is the guy who produced this. This guy did this. The movie was originally 80 minutes long. They cut it down to 60, blah, blah, blah. Sure, cool. I love those factoids. And then guys I expect to know better start just throwing claims out like that off the cuff. Like, well, Bela Lugosi never learned proper English. Like, what the fuck, dudes?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Ed Wood was not a documentary.
It pisses me off so much.
It's very strange because Kim Newman was one of the guys on that commentary, and I was like, dude, Kim Newman is in every fucking Arrow release they have. How is a guy this well-read and knowledgeable about film still making those kind of claims on the regular?
Ugh, that bums me out. It pisses me off how bad film historians are at commentaries.
There's a mix. I enjoy quite a few of them that I get through like Scream, but every once in a while you'll get a few guys where it's like, what are they doing? Like they'll admit to not even wanting to do the commentary, but they kind of just got divvied up, so they got stuck on it, which is the worst. I can't remember which entry it was, but when Scream put out their Universal horror box sets, apparently that's what they did. They just had a couple of film historians. They said, hey, we need a commentary for each one of these movies. You take this one, you take that one, you take that one, just so we have them all covered. So the crummy ones that nobody liked would get commentaries from guys who had no interest in them. But they don't need to tell me that. I would maybe I really like the movie. I would like for them to be like, hey, cool, let's pretend we're all having fun here.
Oh god, it's like John Carpenter's commentary for Once Upon a Time in the West. I don't really know why I'm here. I wonder how they did that. It would be nice if someone who was actually related to the movie was here. That'd be somebody nice to talk to.
Isn't it strange that
aggressive commentary ever?
10 years ago they would just be like, well, John Carpenter's in the room, just fucking make him do a commentary. We need a special feature. Whereas today you'll have filmmakers being like, I desperately want to record a commentary for my film, and the studio goes, nah. Even if you don't want to do it for free, no, we won't put it on the disc. It's too much hassle.
Remember when every movie had like 4 fucking commentaries?
The good old days. Oh no, there's a baseball kid in this room. Ghost.
Why didn't you take me pumpkin patch shopping?
That kid deserved to die if that's the way he's dressed.
This kid went way too ham on the baseball makeup. Like, he's got the black Nike swooshes under his eyes, but his whole
He's
face
a
is painted
baseball
white.
fury.
Pumpkinhole,
So do you
come
think-
out to play. Yay.
So I'm gonna pretend. So
Oh, pumpkin sighting.
I'm just going to assume he hit a homer, but it hit the kid in the head and killed him.
Oh, I was really going with drunk driving. This
He
could be
was
annoying when we
drunk
turn
while
when it-
playing baseball.
the ultimate sin.
It just becomes that episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Will hits that kid and then has to play basketball with him in hell.
I love that episode.
I would like
Remember
to
when they went to
apologize.
Alabama?
I
We should
would like to
watch the fucking
apologize.
Fresh Prince Halloween episodes. They were always the best.
Oh, yeah.
I would love it if we just did a bunch of Halloween episodes. Remember the Boy Meets World one where they did a slasher?
Oh,
That was
yeah.
legitimately scary.
We'll
I
always know
really
how
love that
cold.
one. One of my all-time favorite moments of that show is when one of the characters is killed with a pencil and then slides to the floor, and Corey runs up and is like, "We'll always know how tall he was when he died." Just a fucking A+ joke there. I can't. I saw that when I was a young man, and it will hold with me the rest of my life. All right, I
God,
would really
imagine
like to
doing
apologize to the Pumpkinhole people, because it seems like they're making a good film with like these very serious touches and everything. Like, it's not amateur in any capacity like we're used to with our
This is
commentaries,
actually very well made. So yeah.
but it is definitely not what I am in the mood for.
I would say it's being undone by the very critical misstep of focusing on a pumpkin as its central thesis.
Calling it Pumpkinhole is questionable.
Yeah, I don't know what they were going for with the title Pumpkinhole. Was that a distributor idea? Because I feel
Going
like
down the pumpkin hole.
I would like to do it. I mean, granted, this thing could go off the rails in any moment, but I would like to do a serious review of this movie. It seems very interesting. And
What I would like to do is re-edit this film to make it more Lynch. Like, not even much. Like, I wouldn't mess with the film too much. I would just add disturbing industrial noises to the background, and
Yes.
potentially some of David Lynch lyrics from. Remember, he came out with an album under the moniker Thought Gang not too long ago.
who can
With
You want to bring some crazy
Angelo
clown time
Badalamenti.
into it?
Yeah. So just like the lyrics from Woodcutters from Fiery Ships, just pasted over this is like this guy's interior monologue. Just David Lynch. The ants are walking fast, and they disappeared finally into some tall grass. Pete couldn't see where they went or what they were after. Just that for like 5 minutes in the middle of the film to really throw everyone off. Oh, he hit a guy with a car. He's in confession.
you could have been driving and playing baseball at the same time.
I don't think that's called playing baseball. I think that's just vandalizing houses, like where you drive around and smash the mailboxes down with a baseball bat.
No, he was still hitting a ball.
Look, Mike is
inside the
really
car?
attached. Mike is really attached to him having Bullseye's origin, okay?
Let me have this. What if he was playing like baseball, like Demolition Derby baseball, and like the near apocalypse or something, in like a Mad Max Thunderdome situation, and that's where the kid died. Car
Yeah,
baseball.
to think of that shit, Cody.
I did not. I honestly did not think
Use
of
your
that
goddamn imagination. It's Halloween.
shit. It's not Halloween yet. It's Big Ass Pumpkin Day. We're at the precursor. We're on the threshold of the pumpkining.
I say the entirety of Halloween started September 1st.
Absolutely. That's what capitalism has decided.
God.
No, capitalism decided Christmas starts September 1st.
I was about to say, I'm so
We
pissed off.
decided it starts September 1st.
Well,
Every
we're
time I
the
walk into a
weird-
store now, there's more and more Christmas stuff out. And I'm like, it's not even October 10th. You got to give it till at least. I don't care about Thanksgiving. You can have November, but give me this 1 month.
Since 2020, we've been in a weird seasonal liminal space where Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas all happen at once.
You know, I'm pretty okay with Christmas swallowing Thanksgiving and starting November 1st, only because what real decorations are there for Thanksgiving?
People
Pilgrim
tone
and
down their Halloween stuff. They just put out more orange and brown.
There's just fall things, which is fine, but you can have fall stuff and Christmas stuff out at the same time. And there's never enough fall stuff to really justify decorating for a holiday because it's just sort of nebulous. You just have a lot of gourds.
Yeah. I don't know. I assume there are some people that are like just big into decorating for every holiday. So, they do all the Valentine's stuff. They do the Thanksgiving stuff.
The 90s was a big thing with Thanksgiving centerpieces.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what happened to those. They just stopped
just
doing
thinking of this
child
because there was the
labor to
Simpsons
build
episode
them
where they made a
fucking
centerpiece and
first
Bart
grade.
destroyed it?
Also, I am dropping what I'm going
Acid.
to
Mad
refer
rhymes?
to as
Dropping bars. Dropping bombs.
what I'm
Dropping
going
fire.
to what I'm going to refer to as Trash the Pumpkin.
Ah! Them some peepers. It's disconcerting that the eyes are just wandering in different directions.
You think this is a costume? This is a life.
Okay, I can't tell what's in the foreground because it's out of focus, but is it candy corn?
Ooh. No, they're like... Are they in a church? I see like a crucifix kind of
Probably.
cloth behind that. Did churches have candy corn?
I mean, they might.
They're not Mormon.
Oh, wait. He's trying to pawn his ring off. I misread the scene, but there was a crucifixion. Jamie, have you considered dumping like a quart of oil over this pumpkin to give it a really good slimy texture?
Ooh, actually, now that I think about it, you can readily find one of the most cherished things from our childhoods, slime in little bottles, for pretty cheap at like any convenience store. So now I think tomorrow I might just dump some gack over this thing, let it bake in the hot sun for a little while.
Now we're talking.
Then light it on fire and throw it at Johnny Depp.
You've got his address, right, Jamie?
Justice.
I just had the idea that it would be both lazy and very involved to make a Hellraiser pumpkin, like a pinhead pumpkin.
I've seen those. Those look incredibly difficult.
Like, on one hand, cool, I don't really have to carve anything if I just stick a bunch of pins in this pumpkin. Two, I don't think you can just stick a bunch of pins in the pumpkin. You actually have to plan this out pretty well.
You have to line them up, and yeah.
There's the grid, too. Everyone forgets.
Yeah, there's the
Pinhead
grid.
has a grid.
Yeah, he has a grid.
It looks like shit if you don't do the grid.
That's true. Maybe I'll scratch that. Maybe I won't be carving a pinhead pumpkin.
Who would have expected Pumpkinhole, of all movies, to be thirsty?
I mean, based on the name, I was pretty ready.
I expected more sodomy, to be honest. Uh-oh, bed creaking.
Oh,
We got leaves.
God.
Oh, God. Autumn's coming on him.
Okay, it's
Man, if
reverse
I had a
American
nickel.
Beauty.
The amount of
Pumpkin
times
sighting.
I've seen a pumpkin at the moment of ejaculation.
Happy Halloween!
Ooh, the kid drops the pumpkin, and it falls towards us because the camera's still pointed up at the kid. And then it just cuts back down to this pumpkin just smashing this dude in the face. Oh, no. Oh, God, he's seizing. Pumpkin! This would be the worst sex, right? Like, you're just getting ground, and you're foaming at the mouth, and she's not even stopping.
You think she would notice at this point?
Spinning pumpkin! Right, yeah, he's frothing at the mouth. I'm sorry, what was that symbol? What was that tattooed on the back of his neck? Oh, okay. For a second, I thought it
think
was...
she's one of the human servants of the vampires in the Blade universe.
See, I
that
figured
is some
that...
corn.
For a second, I thought he had the symbol for the artist formerly known as Prince on the back of his neck. And I'm like, that's an odd detail. It is not. It's like an Egyptian eye.
This is an
That's,
odd sequence.
Sorry,
The man
I'm
is
really
in a pumpkin
love.
field. He's looking at himself sitting in a
Is he
recliner
making
with an
love
Afghan
to
on it.
himself with his own eyes? Hey.
I'm
He's
sorry. I'm
cutting
just.
through the man now in his house, looking at himself in the field. There's flashing lights. He should probably put on a shirt.
I'm really in love with the image of the Barca lounger in the field of pumpkins, like he's the fucking Yellow King.
I say between all the imagery and the frame rate,
Ah.
I'm pretty sure we're in a Nine Inch Nails video from 1994.
I wanna fuck you like a pumpkin gourd.
You make autumn go away.
Just to rub it in, I did see the Nine Inch Nails play at Riot Fest this year, so suck it, everyone who hasn't seen cool
Stop
things in
rubbing
their
it.
life.
Stop rubbing it in our face.
I also saw the Misfits.
Go to hell, Cody.
Cody got to witness Danzig drama on stage. The complete Misfits.
I wouldn't call it drama. It was just Danzig being Danzig. Like, I guess we're gonna play this album we said we were gonna play. Some of the songs suck. I don't know. What one do we want to do next? Dude, they're all 2 minutes long, and you're just shouting the name of the song like 15 times over the chorus. Like, why does it take 2 minutes to pick a song?
Also, I like how this is literally The Machinist. That also, the crash was also in a tunnel.
Now, I'm just thinking of that meme, like, hey, Mom, can we have The Machinist? We have The Machinist at home, and it's just Pumpkinhole.
Why was that kid just in the middle of a tunnel with a pumpkin in the middle of the night?
Okay, one, kids are dumb, so I totally believe this kid would be in the tunnel, the pumpkin. Two, the tunnel would be the hardest place to hit this kid, because look at how bright that tunnel is. They want you to see everything inside of a tunnel. Look at how dark it is outside the tunnel. If that kid was like 10 feet further down the road, it would have been perfectly acceptable for this kid to get run over.
Why is he dressed like Al from Quantum Leap?
I think he's supposed to be dressed as a jester, but sure.
So I like this Sin City shot.
Get together, old man.
That little pumpkin bastard. Fuck, now all I can see is Sin City, just because it keeps flashing to the to the total desaturation.
Those whores let you down.
This is frustrating, because we're essentially doing like the Mystery Science Theater thing for the sake of Mystery Science Theater.
It's just a deer and a pumpkin.
Folks, you shouldn't do this. I think it goes without saying, but if you're just watching a movie and your first inclination is to make fun of it without having actually paid attention to what it's doing, you're probably watching movies wrong. Like, I'll do this sometimes at
we're
parties.
the
And it's like,
assholes. We
yeah.
actually do admit this. We are the asshole. This is actually interesting. I do wish he said no. It's not a person. It was just a pumpkin.
Just a pumpkin. I just hit a rough patch in the road.
I would argue that the purpose of a Big Ass Pumpkin Day movie is not necessarily to goof on it, but just to have it there to spur conversation. It's our Halloween.
That's true.
party.
True. It's us searching for further pumpkin movies.
Yes.
So we should be just happy we watched a good one. I'm enjoying Pumpkinhole as just a straight movie. The pumpkin itself is a little confusing, but you know, I wasn't expecting covered up murder.
Again, if it
also,
just
hold on. This is one thing that bothered me in a lot of
pumpkin.
movies. He goes to the priest and admits, like, I ran a kid over. And he's like, where's the kid? He's like, I don't know. Priests don't have to cover up your crimes. Like, the confession basically is like, hey, I'm not going to go gossip to everyone that, like, you wear your wife's panties. Like, legally, I'm pretty sure they have to report murders and murder confessions.
No, actually, it's also admissible in court. Anything said in confession
priests
can't be
lie and cover things up, so.
Yeah, there's that too. But no, same thing if you confess you murdered somebody to your therapist. And a therapist can actually more actively go to the police.
I was going to say, I feel like they could at least go to police and say, like, hey, you may want to investigate this.
But
I think, can a therapist like intervene if they think an immediate crime will be in progress,
yes.
like you're about to murder someone? But you can't if you confess to previous crimes, there isn't shit they can do.
Yeah, exactly. and it falls under patient-client privilege. So even if they say that, it can't actually be used as evidence. Same thing
That's why.
in confessional.
That's why if I
Both in confession and a therapist, a priest and a therapist they're always instructed to urge the person to confess themselves and turn themselves in.
That's why if I ever commit a murder, I'm confessing to my podiatrist. He's not going to want any of that shit.
I know a lot about covering up murder. It's weird.
Okay, sorry, I'm on a Reddit rabbit hole here, and someone mentions, like, okay, so let's say you confess to a priest you murdered someone. Well, he won't report this to the authorities. Part of your penance will be to hand yourself into the authorities. So he could just guilt trap you into doing it yourself?
Essentially, if you're confessing to a priest, you're already kind of halfway there into being able to be goaded into turning yourself in.
I suppose. But I think, is that like a good gotcha? Like, well, okay, it's part of your penance, and if you don't do your penance, can they, like, excommunicate you for that? Is this like the priest work around and be like, hey, this guy's got to go to jail?
It's pretty much, if you're confessing to a priest, you're pretty much aware that you believe in hell and that you're going to go to hell, so a priest can just use that against you to turn yourself in. It's not like I'm going to go confess to a priest to make myself feel better after I murder you, Cody. Because I don't believe
in
hell
that specific
exists.
example.
I miss MB being on the show.
Maybe if Mike hadn't killed him too.
I will kill all of you, and if I don't turn.
Oh shit! I should watch The Wolfman pretty soon.
I've had kind of an urge to rewatch The Wolfman lately.
Every time
it's a good time of
watch
year.
The Wolfman, it gets a little bit better.
I would like to do a kind of a system rewatch, like watch the original Universal Monster movie and then like the 90s to 2000 remake of the movie. So you watch Frankenstein, then you watch like the De Niro version of Frankenstein.
Erotic.
I don't really want to watch The Bride, so I'm just going to skip Bride of Frankenstein. Just like that. So, watch the original Wolfman and then the remake Wolfman. I think it'd be kind of fun, just like back and forth.
That does sound like a lot of fun. I wish you brought up this idea like 2 months ago so we had time and just did that for October.
We have discussed this in the past, actually, but exclusively just doing like the 90s 2000 remake kind of stuff. So
it sounds fun, though. That sounds like a cool experiment.
Well, you can pretty easily pair all those together. So you have the De Niro Frankenstein, you have the Oldman Dracula, the Stephen Sommers Mummy, which feels really out of place compared to those last two. But
to be fair, it's probably less out of place than just the original Mummy amongst all the other Universal movies.
Although, God, as a side series, imagine doing that with, like, comparing and contrasting Universal Pictures with the 70s wave of horror with things like Badham's Dracula, Hammer's Mummy.
That'd be a lot of fun. Like, you could just do it in phases. So, like, a different Dracula for each
That could be a cool series of episodes we do, actually. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Oh, for the creature, we just do Inhumanoids from the Deep.
Yes.
Same.
Not even joking. That's 100% what you would do.
Yeah.
And
honestly,
Ted
after
Gagan was kind of
Humanoids,
joking about this on Twitter a while back. Like,
Deep Rising.
What would be like the modern day equivalent of the creature from the Black Lagoon? Because people kind of stopped making those creature features, and the closest I guess you would get is, man, I am forgetting the name of the movie. Giant killer fish film.
Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, that'd be great too. I guess shark films would kind of be a good comparison because Creature from Black Lagoon goes on to inspire Jaws. So
yeah, it's hard because and it's almost too easy to say The Shape of Water. Yeah. But that's really the closest because there's a specific kind of monster movie, and just like killer fish isn't quite the same.
Well, I think it's because the horror creature features tend to go in waves where we bounce between nature reclaiming what is its and the idea of like something alien and monstrous, like going back and forth from giant insects to things like the xenomorph.
I'm still blanking. It's a Larry Fessenden movie. I think he's had two where there's like giant killer fish.
Orca.
Okay, there's Beneath, which is just like a giant fish. Fun movie. I don't know if that'd be the creature from the Black Lagoon. But didn't he do Hypothermia as well? Or did he just star in that one?
I don't remember.
He produced that one, so it's probably a Glass Eye Pix film. I haven't seen most of it, but that one actually has like a fish man, a guy in a rubber suit attacking people.
Yeah,
Although
what makes it really difficult too is Creature from the Black Lagoon was also during the 50s sci-fi cycle, so it was a hybrid between old Universal horror and 50s sci-fi.
Yeah, I always forget that that's like at the very tail end of the Universal monsters.
Could you include Peter Benchley's Creature? It's like the modern day kind of equivalent.
Dagon. Let's just count Dagon at that point.
I mean, it's frustrating too, right? Because a lot of the sympathy you feel towards the monster is super similar to what they did with Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So you kind of end up with this being the weird evolutionary take on sci-fi.
Does Mimic kind of work?
I was thinking that too.
I don't know, because you don't really feel a lot of sympathy for the bug so much, but I could kind of see it.
Yeah, I feel kind of sorry for the bug in Mimic 2 whenever he brings or like shows up at the hot lady's house.
I guess all of them kind of fall into Beauty and the Beast.
Humanize
right?
the bug in that movie. It's very strange.
I feel like as a Guillermo del Toro purist, I've only seen Mimic 1.
Mimic 2 is a hell of a ride. It's very bad.
I also don't like giant bugs that much, so I watched Mimic because it was GDT, and then after that, I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Bugs freak me out. Don't like them.
The void is about to happen here.
Back to the tunnel.
I guess another way to better like categorize it is like, okay, what movies would have environmentalism?
Pumpkin. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, they're all Beauty and the Beast style pictures, right? Like the Beast falls in love with Beauty, which gets him killed. If he'd just been swimming by himself, he'd be fine. But to your point, you also have to factor in either something about colonialism or the environment to truly make it a creature film. Because the creature's just chilling, having a good time, and then people decide to go fuck up his habitat because they're looking for bones. And, kill all the fish in his lagoon and basically cause problems for him until he fights back. Would Anaconda be a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie?
It does definitely have that journey into the heart of darkness feeling.
Including a character who's just unconscious at the bottom of the boat for like half the movie.
Floating spinning pumpkin. I think Anaconda might be pretty close. If you felt sympathy for the Anaconda.
Close. Yeah.
The only other thing I was going to suggest is pairing Creature with Hell Comes to Frogtown. If you just want the other side of the spectrum.
Interesting choice. I don't know if I'd buy into it, but
eat shit, Amphibian.
At that point, then we have to count frogs.
No, I think we just stick with humanoids from the deep.
Oh, it definitely works.
God, I'm still so sad we haven't gotten one of like the 50 announced Creature from the Black Lagoon movies. Remember for a while there was supposed to be one with Scarlett Johansson that they swore was coming down the pipe?
Oh yeah, God.
It's like in the Mountains of Madness. It's just impossible for some reason.
At this point, I'm just really curious. Like, fuck it, just give it to John Carpenter. See what happens. Is he washed? I don't know. Would he want to put in the effort at this point in his career? Maybe not.
At least something would be made.
Yeah, we get something made.
Score.
It would exactly. Could you imagine John Carpenter's Creature from the Black Lagoon score? Instead of the bum 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 of the original movie, we get like those bitchin' guitar riffs from the Halloween 2018 remake. Gil Man comes out of the waters. Brow. Fuck, I'd watch that.
Fucking metal Gil Man.
So, if I can segue us into Halloween, because we still have 23 minutes left and I got a vamp. Or what's the room temperature on Halloween Ends coming this Friday? We're recording before it actually comes out. It comes out on Big Ass Pumpkin Day.
Yeah, so technically someone's listening to this that may have already watched.
Mm-hmm.
Don't watch ahead of us, people at home.
Yeah, don't spoil Halloween Ends for me. I normally don't care about spoilers. This time I don't want to be spoiled.
Please don't spoil Halloween Ends.
Spoilers. Halloween dies at the end.
I care more about that than if like somebody spoiled a Marvel movie for me. Like, no. As far as I'm concerned, this is the actual end of Halloween. I
have 100% not watched a single trailer.
Oh.
Same. I'm going in completely blind.
I tried to avoid a lot of spoilers, but just because of who I am, I still catch some reading movie forums. And I have a decent idea of the structure of the film and kind of like the big twists that give the movie some locomotion to actually function as a movie instead of like a 20-minute action scene. So I wish I had done that. It would have been nice to be surprised in the theater. But I'm refusing to read anything else about the film. I don't want to know the ending. I'm just going to go in blind and see how it turns out. I'm excited, but I'm also a little worried. I know how mad everyone was after Halloween Kills came out, which is actually a movie I enjoy. I think it's pretty goofy in parts, but
the most faux movie outrage I've seen in a while.
That was like high level.
There have been some awful Halloween movies, so I'm not really that like, oh my god, how dare they have an angry mob in a Halloween film?
I'm puzzled by all the I mean, we did an episode on Halloween Kills. Our puzzlement at everyone's takes is well documented.
So I'm a little worried it's going to happen again, where Ends comes out and everyone's like, oh, I'm done with Halloween. Fucking bullshit franchise. And I don't know. It's like, I've been along for the ride.
That's how the internet works. And then everyone who hated Halloween Kills will say Halloween Ends is terrible and they ruined Halloween Kills. Et cetera, onward and upward.
The real problem I'm going to have is I watched the original Halloween last night, and I'm going to get tickets to see Halloween Ends on Friday. Now, do I just watch Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills before Friday to get myself in the mood? Or do I try to jam in every Halloween film, since this is supposedly, Halloween Ends, the big exclamation point on the franchise? Do I try and take all of Halloween
stick with
in?
Canon.
Yeah, you're going to be in for a bad time.
Well, on the other hand, this might make me think like, oh, geez, I'm very glad this didn't end like Halloween Resurrections. Hopefully Laurie gets a better send-off than that movie, at the very least, right?
Oh, she gets to say trick or treat, motherfucker.
Again.
When Coolio died, there was a lot of people posting the scene of trick or treat, motherfucker from Halloween Resurrection, thinking Exhibit was Coolio.
He's not even the same type of dude.
No. I was about to be like, hey, Mike, not Coolio, but okay, I understand. Now is everyone else who's awful. I'm still so mad.
They play a clip of Snoop Dogg. Yeah, Coolio, same guy, right?
Coolio performed at Riot Fest this year, and I couldn't make it because that was like a schedule conflict, and I was waiting for like 9 Inch Nails to play or something, just waiting in the pit. And then 10 days later, Coolio passed away. It's like, God damn it, I missed one of the last chances anyone ever had to see Coolio perform. I'm a fool.
Yeah.
To be fair, you still have a better chance of seeing Coolio perform again than continuing to see 9 Inch Nails perform live.
One of my favorite moments from the 9 Inch Nails concert was the very start, because Trent Reznor is lined up on stage. He's kind of hunkered down a little bit, and he's holding the microphone like he's about to start singing into it. And the music is kind of building. There's like a little bit of a drone going on. They don't have the stage lights going yet, so you can kind of see Trent Reznor on the stage, but it's not like well lit. And all of a sudden, the music kicks in, like the whole band hits a note at the same time. The flares go off, like they have these gigantic lights. Hey, it's the Pumpkinhole. The lights go off, like there's just a giant strobe, and you're blinded because these are the brightest fucking lights I've ever seen a stage production use. And Trent Reznor has timed this perfectly to jump forward during the strobe. So he's been hunkered down like he's about to start singing the microphone. All of a sudden, he is about 5 feet closer to you than you expected, with his arms stretched out like he's being crucifixed, and he's just shouting lyrics at you. He's like, "What the fuck?" And it's like he teleported in front of you to angrily start singing the song. And it was just the greatest entrance I've ever seen a band do.
Satanic.
I don't know how long he had to practice that move to nail like the flash forward thing he was doing, but I swear to God, he teleported. If you showed that to someone from the year 1200, they would have burned him as a witch.
This is really making me crave pasta.
You know, sometimes Target has pumpkin ravioli.
Ooh.
It's actually pretty good.
It actually is. I'm really stuck on drinking soda and having pasta at the same time. I'm so insulted.
Mike, is there a difference between going to Pizza Hut, having a Coca-Cola, and eating some pepperoni pizza?
That's pizza. That's different.
Pizza, you don't count that as close to pizza?
Cody, you
Other
just
than the
mispronounced
marinara,
pasta, so I'm going to say you're wrong.
I threw in my credentials. Yeah, I fucked.
I will say you can.
It's the Great British Bake Off Mexican Week all over again.
God, I'm hungry. I would say it's okay to pair spaghetti. Wow, Pepsi at that. Oh, it's.
The fuck? What is wrong with you?
Oh, he's
Stop
gonna eat the
that.
fucking grapes too. I would
Also,
say
God, the amount
grapes,
of acid in
olives,
your
and he's
stomach
got
is
like
about
some
to be-
crostini going on and a whole bowl of Parmesan cheese.
Well, everything there makes perfect sense, except, and then paired with soda. It's the
Wait, what's
most
with the-
fucking Jersey bullshit I've ever seen.
Why has he got like a steak knife? What is he using that for?
It's a good question.
Also, I do want to say I think you can get away with spaghetti and soda since depending on the amount of marinara, like pasta sauce you got in there. If you got it drowned in there, then that's just going like the acidity of that is going to taste very bad with the Coke. You got a mostly dry spaghetti with a lot of meat in there, like the meatballs are the main attraction, and the pasta sauce is just there to lubricate things. And the sweetness of the Coke will be fine.
No,
What if
because
he-
it's the taste of the Coke is still ruining the pasta dish.
No, what if he ate like a saltine between swigs of soda, like to just clear his palate?
That would at least make it justifiable. That I would accept.
Okay, maybe he was
Then you're
doing
not
that between bites.
insulting the fucking pasta.
So your opposition is the pasta itself being paired with the Coke, not the sauce.
It's like mispairing the correct wine with your meal. Now, granted, yes, there's also the just pasta sauce and soda. I feel so bad for this dude later in the night.
Oof.
But
Mike, would you drink a pasta flavored soda? Would you give it a shot if someone put it in front of you? Like, here, try this. It's free.
we're watching Pumpkinhole.
You didn't answer the question.
Is that dude wearing 3D glasses?
I was thinking the
No.
same thing. It's
Those are sports
Cyclops at
glasses.
the end of Days
Oh.
of Future Past.
I'm just saying, if someone put down a marinara flavored soda in front of me, I would have to try it. Just it's too weird. You got to do it.
I'll try anything. I'll put anything in my mouth for any amount of money.
Ooh.
So I'm glad we're
So this
finally
was-
into the real deal baseball content.
Finally, I can't wait to see somebody hit a home run. There's 14 minutes left. I gotta get to it.
Cody, make a home run sound effect.
Clink! Woo! That's the sound the guy
Was it
makes. as he
metal
sees the
bat on
ball.
a metal ball? What the fuck?
Oh, I can't do both at once. I'm one man. I had this idea a while back, and no one agreed with me that it was a good idea. So I'm waiting to see someone else do it and be successful with it so I can tell everyone else, like, I told you. You know how some places have like beer walls where you basically go up ahead of time, you set up an account, and then they give you a card. You scan the card and you can pour beer out of a wall. It just charges you by the ounce as it pours, and you can just pick whatever beer you want, so you don't have to involve a bartender.
Go
I'm taking
on.
it from your silence. You haven't dealt with one of these. They exist. They're around. There are bars where you just go up to. They have all the taps, and you just pick the one you want. You slap your card on, it charges you by ounce. I want to do the same thing with hot dogs. Like you just go up to a wall and you swipe a card, and like a Vienna sausage just keeps pouring out until you have enough hot dog to fill the size bun
I
you
am
have with you.
100% for this idea, and I would like to invest in it. Can we start a business?
Yes, finally someone's on my side. Just you got like hot Italian sausage, you got brats, and they're just coming out
This
of
is
a pipe.
brilliant.
And you can just run them down. You can make like a 12-foot brat if you want to pay for it, but it's going to be expensive. You're
You
putting
can
like
make your
6 hot dog
own
buns
gourmet
underneath it.
hot dog.
Yes.
I love it.
Cody, this is your best idea since Soup and Suits.
Soup and a suit. Oof, man, so classy.
Honestly,
So anyways, if anyone is listening at home and you take this
this,
hot dog out of the wall idea, like this glory hole idea, please give me some amount of the money that you will make. You're going to make a fortune. And it's my idea. It's my baby.
please, for the love of God, remember your Uncle Coatster.
I'm still here. Yesterday, I went down to the Jenny Street Market, which became kind of famous last year because they announced they had candy corn brats.
Oh, yeah.
I went back there. They have the Spooktober brats again, so those are the candy corn brats. I got a pound of those. This year, they upped the ante. They also had pumpkin-flavored brats, so I got a pound of those. So I'm going to have pumpkin and
That
candy
makes more
corn-flavored
sense
brats.
to me than the candy corn flavored brats.
I just
So
can't
the only
imagine
thing is-
like the cinnamon that makes up the pumpkin spice flavor, like going well with any kind of sausage. Also, I love how food pairing is the theme of this fucking commentary.
Well, you're assuming it's made with just pumpkin pie spice. I was assuming that it was the meat mixed with like actual chunks of pumpkin.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like pumpkin spice sausage or something.
I was thinking
No,
like
I don't
fucking-
actually know. I didn't ask any questions. Oh, the pumpkin hole, it's back.
like pumpkin paired with pork does go very well.
Yeah. So if it's like the candy corn brat, that just had bits of candy corn inside the brat. So this might be similar, where they just put bits of pumpkin puree or something inside the brat. I don't know. I won't know until I make it.
Double points if it's just like cubes of like roasted pumpkin. That would go very well.
Yeah.
I'd like to try that if I ever felt the need to make my own sausage.
Yeah. Just keep that in mind. So I'm trying to think.
won't.
Last year, how I served this was I just boiled up the candy corn brat, and I had a Wheel of Fortune in my apartment. And if anyone spun it, it could land on a shot of Malort. It could end on a blood pickle that I described earlier. It could end on a glass of water. It could be a lot of things. Some of them are good, some are awful. And the candy corn brat was in there.
Sorry.
One person spun the candy corn brat and then refused to eat it because they didn't want to try it. So I don't know if I'm going to do it the same way, because I feel like if you leave it up to chance, people aren't going to take it. My other idea is I make the candy corn brats and the pumpkin brats, and I arrange them on kind of a sheet pan, like curled up next to each other, maybe drizzle a little bit of barbecue sauce on there to make them look like bloody insides. But I don't know if the barbecue sauce would really go with it. I suppose I could do a little bit of ketchup, but I don't know. I prefer a runny red, like spicy barbecue.
Oh, that's the way to go. Or a smoky, tangy mustard.
Oh, that'd be good. If I could find one that's the right color. I suppose I could just add some red food dye to some
Yeah,
good mustard.
Or mix it with paprika.
Now we're thinking. That's a good idea. A little bit of smoked paprika in the mustard. Folks, this podcast is free. Can you believe it?
This movie has a dead child in it.
So far, we're up to one dead body, right?
Oh, we actually clicked the wrong movie by mistake. This is the John Cameron Mitchell movie Rabbit Hole. It's just this kid. That kid was killed by Miles Teller.
I have this movie for 48 hours, I think, because I rented it on Amazon. Maybe I should go back and rewatch it when we're done talking to actually appreciate what's happening here.
I'm kind of tempted to do that myself. Now I can at any point, thanks to Hoopla.
God damn it, we're not being
Hey.
sponsored by them. Don't give them free press until they pay us something.
I want to be sponsored by my local library.
Is that legal?
Jamie, I like to imagine that as your impression of a very, very drunk Neil Gaiman.
Mechadar.
You made him German there.
Oh no.
I like the idea of my local library having to issue a statement saying that they cannot condone the behavior of Jamie. We must
I
be
gotta just leave it at
impartial.
Jamie. They don't have your last name or anything. It's just Jamie, and everyone's like, I know the one.
It's a small town. I'm distinct.
I hope this is how I die.
Just left in the middle of a tunnel.
Yeah.
What would we do if they all of a sudden went hardcore gore and this lady just runs a skull over with a car? You just see it split open.
How
like
we
a
go
pumpkin
home
is smashed.
happy. Instead of all low about this dead kid. This is a very dramatic film.
It's very dramatic. I'm starting to think you're right, though, Mike, about the unnecessary pumpkin. Like, I don't think it needs to be called
very
Pumpkinhole so much.
unnecessary the more the movie has gone on.
Yeah, they
Oh, she's gonna squash his head.
Wow, that was slight overkill on her part. And an unintentionally hilarious image, but... Oh god, we're in Mandy now.
Yeah, it's God. This seems like
Wait, this is the same attic as the witch.
yeah, this movie has a good screenplay and it's well directed, but I kind
I
of feel
fucking
like
hate it when that happens.
I kind of feel like the direction maybe does a slight disservice to the script. Just again, the choice of a lot of that imagery, just
I like the images because even this is almost like a Creepshow vibe with the flashing background stylization. Like, I'm into that. I think it's a cool hook for your film, which is otherwise just, there's so many other dramas out there that people just kind of pass by. But to Mike's point, it also feels a little silly to have the giant rotating pumpkin just floating around.
that keeps killing all of the atmosphere.
It's the fact that whoever is behind the camera isn't aware that's hilarious looking.
It's like he's trying to do David Lynch, like Mulholland Drive imagery.
Very much. This is very like
Lynch
going
can
for a
do
Lynch
that.
vibe.
Actually, I feel bad because this is a worthwhile story.
Totally,
being
yeah.
told. Like, we're goofing on it for being essentially the machinist, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, not
People
at
like
all.
the machinist. I have to. God damn it! Yeah, it's actually. Hey, it's Velma.
What the hell?
It's the lighting, the shot choices. Like, there's good composition.
And then cut to spinning pumpkin. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
like
the spinning pumpkin. It throws me off too because they went with the name Pumpkinhole, which is very tangentially connected to the rest of the story. Like, they just kind of had a voiceover that explained a little bit, I think, of the Pumpkinhole choice. Like, that name is clearly designed to get people into your movie, but not the kind of people I think that are going to enjoy a slow burn character drama. Like, I feel like the name Pumpkinhole does disservice to the actual drama you're trying to portray. Although it could be a point where, like, the director didn't even pick the name of the title. Like, maybe the distributor's like, hey, we got to do something to get people in. Call it Pumpkinhole.
that's possible,
That's very
but
likely.
you still made the choice for the rest of the movie.
You brought these pumpkins onto yourself. Eh?
I feel
As
like
I was
this
about
movie's
to-
kind of going off the reservation a little bit in like the last 30 seconds.
I was
Oh,
going
it's
to
the
ask
Mad
what was
Hatter
going on
again.
with this hat. Now I see it's a Mad Hatter costume. There's only 4 minutes left, so they gotta get something going here. Oh, another pumpkin. Next time we watch the movie, we'll know we have to take a shot each time there's a pumpkin.
God damn it, indie movies. Sometimes you don't have to come up with a weird ending. You don't have to always kill the main character. You don't have to always end everything with a dream or something. You don't have to go wacky. You can just end earlier.
Well, if they ended earlier, this movie would be like an hour 15. So.
Cody, it says you're offline. Refresh your page and go back in the room.
Ah, shit.
Oh God, Cody's down the pumpkin hole.
All right, you're back.
Woo! Didn't miss anything exciting.
Throxies.
I'm not sure. That's the thing.
Okay. I feel like with the inclusion of this Alice in Wonderland kind of tag, remember in Pontypool where the movie ends and then there's a post-credit scene that's almost like a Sin City piece? Where everyone was like, why was this here? How does this fit into the movie? And no one really understood. I feel a little bit like that now. But I also haven't been paying enough attention to be able to complain.
This is really aiming for David Lynch.
Again, though, to focus on nice things, the cinematography has been crackerjack. And here I really love that we have the center action going on and the camera is pulling in incredibly slowly. If you focus on like the top of the guy's hat, you can keep seeing the headspace is just slowly getting smaller. It's very well controlled to have the slow pull in. Reminds me a little bit of like Guillermo Navarro when he films stuff. Like he always is moving the camera around like a snake or just kind of doing those kind of long drag pulls.
Yeah. I like how this is the second time it's happened with this character as well.
Yeah, we had a lot of...
No, we kind of looped around. I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of shots in the movie too that are focusing on like the back of the character's head and that kind of thing. So there's a theme to the camera work. Like they clearly did the homework and planned all the shots ahead of time because they wanted certain looks and ideas. If I were paying better attention, maybe I could tell you what those were. But hey, we aren't doing this one for analysis. This was a funzie.
And now we can recommend Pumpkinhole, I guess.
Pumpkinhole.
Yeah.
If you want to spend $4 and pay more attention than we did, you'll probably have a good time if you're not expecting a bloodbath.
Third year in a row, we ended up with a movie we did not deem Jacko.
So Jamie, did you win or did I win the body bet?
Jamie was closest.
Oh yeah,
depends on how
that
you
was
count it.
technically two. If we count the amount of bodies we saw on screen, not got bodies canonically dead, I believe we were at two.
Yeah, I think it goes to 2 because we saw the head squish with the cinder block, and we kind of assumed the guy ran the kid over. Like they showed the kid on the ground and all that, so I think that counts as a second dead body.
I'm counting it because that means I win.
There's 20 seconds left. This guy could run over like 4 more people in the middle of the road.
Sure, we have no idea what's about. This could turn into the end of Demons. Oh no, it faded out. Never mind.
Well, cheers to Jamie, the winner of the Big Ass Pumpkin Day bet.
Hey,
won the
it's
big
a
ass
big
pumpkin.
ass pumpkin. Though this was made by Pineapple Pictures, not Pumpkin Pictures. Fuck you.
Yeah, what is this bullshit? Sorry, okay, hold on. I'm reading more of the description now from the Amazon page. Because I just stopped before when I saw washed-up baseball stars haunted by visions of pumpkins. As these experiences intensify, he desperately seeks a way to make the vision stop and soon thinks the pumpkins are guiding him to another dimension to bring the boy back. We missed an entire Donnie Darko dimension to this film.
Oh, well, we were talking about pasta a lot and pickles.
True, and just hot dogs being shot out of a wall.
Yeah, important things. Soup and
Yeah. Yeah. Well, folks, that was Pumpkinhole. Mostly picked because, boy, who doesn't love saying Pumpkinhole? Try it at home. Say it with me.
Pumpkinhole on Hoopla.
Hoopla. You're going to say Hulu, weren't you?
A little bit.
You thought we wouldn't notice. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful big-ass pumpkin day. Go carve yourself an immaculate pumpkin. I think we're ready to tune out here. But before we go, I think we need one rousing rendition of the Big Ass Pumpkin Day theme. What do you guys say?
Big ass that pumpkin day, Cody.
Let's roll. Does anyone have like production skills? Can they put a sick beat underneath this?
No.
We'll find out what happens when we release it. A 1 and a 2 and a big ass pumpkin day. Big ass pumpkin day. Big ass pumpkin day. It's a big ass pumpkin day. Everybody! Big ass pumpkin day. Big ass pumpkin day. ass, big ass pumpkin day. It's a big ass pumpkin day. Everybody!
Little child.
Big ass, big ass,
Big ass.
big ass,
Big ass pumpkin day. It's a big ass pumpkin
big
day.
ass pumpkin day.
It's a big ass pumpkin day. Mike, if you can find a beat that covers that, you're a genius. I'm very eager to see what you come up with. Maybe some country twang?
It is a very country song.
All right, folks. That's Big Ass Pumpkin Day, and this is Box Office Pulp. And I'm Cody, and that was Mike, and that was Jamie. Now get the hell out of here.
You get more out of life when you go out to a movie. Please remember to replace the speaker on the post when you leave the theater.
I forgot to do the spiel. People can find us, right? They found this.
Yeah, we're in the after credit scene now, so you can do it if you want.
I never want to do the spiel. You can find. I don't know where we're at. I just found out we were on Spotify not that long ago.
Go to boxofficepulp.com. All the relevant links are there. We're all on your favorite podcatchers, such as Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, things like that. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/boxofficepulppodcast. We're on Twitter at boxofficepulp. And of course, you can follow us on all of our other socials, such as me on Twitter at LuckyDeckNapier. Cody is at BopWatch1, and
One the number not typed out. One N-O.
And Jamie is Mondo Funky.
Amazingly, it wasn't.
We should just record that once and just use it every time. Like, just slap it on.
We can use that version, like where I'm like bored and half dead and not interested in doing it.
We really want you to contact us. We swear.
Tweet at us your favorite Cure song. I'd like to know it.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan, Jamie.
Hail Satan.
Good. Was that so hard?
Mm.
You know what? You're not allowed to
What
fuck
am I-
the goat tonight.
Yeah. How do you like that? You can have a plain ass big ass pumpkin day where you just get to fuck a pumpkin hole.
I just want to go back to my mom's house. Hate it here.
That's some revolutionary programming where you pitch Satan as, instead of the cool rebel dude, he's just like the obnoxious stepdad no one likes.
This is Box Office Pulp Guy, and this has been a Pulp Podcast production. Now please, 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 put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger and say goodnight.
And now, on with the show.